All right, here we go, man. News and Talk, Bloomington Normal, that's us. We're Cities 92.9. Hi there. I'm Scott Robbins. Right over there is Kat Peterson. Okay, Kat. Okay, so I told Kat last night, her and I were texting or talking, or maybe it was yesterday, I don't even remember. I can't remember now. That we were going to make an announcement, and we talked about it yesterday, and today was the day. And it's a personal thing. It's not anything you should worry about. But it is an announcement that I will be stepping down from my position here at Cities to do the morning show. And all my attention and time will now be devoted to my second job, which is the Mark Lee Van Camp and Robbins show, which you hear every night at 8 to 11 here on Cities. The show is done in real time at 11 o'clock in the morning. We're on 120 affiliates now around the country. And the time has come for me to, through contract negotiations and all kinds of nonsense you don't need to know about, it has become the time for me to step aside and turn over the reins to someone else on this show. And so my focus can be entirely on our national show as it continues to grow. We're blessed. I mean, I'm a blessed guy. I thank you for being a part of my life since 1984, essentially, a lot of you. I've been in and around the market for quite some time. But it means so much to me that we have developed this friendship and this relationship over the years, and you're comfortable with me, and we share a lot of the same things, and we can talk things through, and I feel like I'm sitting down with you at the breakfast table every day, and we're just having this conversation. That's what this business is. It's intimacy and communication. That's what we do. And keeping all that in mind, we will be turning the show over to a guy you may know. You may know Robert Reese. You may remember him when he was here before. I don't know. But I talked to him last night for about a 20-minute conversation on the phone, I guess. We think a lot alike. He thinks some things differently. It's his show. He'll put his stamp on it. As far as Kat's concerned, Kat will remain with the show. This is Kat's job. I told him if he messes with Kat, then he and I are going to have trouble. I didn't really, but I alluded to it. Okay, I didn't really say that, but anyway. So it's been a blessing, and I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for supporting this show. This show has succeeded beyond my expectations of how this show would work, because I didn't know how it was going to work, but it did, and it went past that into other territories. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Every time I meet people and they talk about something we said, Kat, or something we did, or they agreed with us, or they felt like they were alone, and they're the only ones that thought this way, you're not.
No.
There's a lot of people like you. The majority of the people are like you. We are family, and I feel that way. That's what talk radio is interesting. I've worked in a million other formats. You guys have been listening since '84. I mean, I have people come up to me. I used to have people come up to me and say, "Hey, my mom listened to you on the radio." And I was like, wow, your mom did? Now I get, my grandma listened to you on the radio. It's not unusual for me to get that now. So at any rate, I always approach it with, well, does grandma like me? At first, who knows? For those, and there are those who hate the show, hate me, and they're very personal about it. They come at you in all different angles. It really means I'm doing my job, because you're the exact people that should not want to hear this show, but you can't help yourself. You listen anyway.
It's
and
fun.
and you're all counted. And sometimes it is. I do snap back.
Yeah.
There's been occasions I have. There have been occasions where you get bullied to the point where it's like the only way this is going to stop is if you push back. I say that about politics. We have been, I think, in my mind anyway, I think the Republican Party in general has sometimes lost its way. I don't think it's found its way completely yet, but I think it's getting close. I think we're going to be in a situation in this country, if we're not already there, we're going to be there very soon, where you're not going to recognize it. And the only way that can change is if you change it. And we have to get to the point where we can push back. I'm not advocating violence of any kind, but I'm saying we have to stand our ground. And we have to say, no, this doesn't feel right. And I think you're seeing that around the country now. I think it started with schools. And that probably was started by the pandemic. We have hysterical people right now they're psychotic because of the pandemic. It's a religion to them. It's a fervor. It's jumped the shark a long time ago. They are consumed with it. The COVID porn is something they can't take their eyes off of, and the media loves it. And they keep feeding the beast over and over again. If you have a contrarian view on anything, you're either a racist, you're a homophobe, you're sexist. A contrarian view, that's all. You just are looking at it going, I don't see it that way. This is not how I see it. This has been a place I think we can all come together and say, no, we all think this way. We're looking at something and saying, no, don't tell me it's this. Don't quit gaslighting me. It isn't. And this has been that place. So anyway, I'm leaving on good terms, by the way. This has got nothing to do with the radio station, the management, the people involved, nothing at all. Please don't paint it that way because it's simply not true. The owner of this company is, I consider, a friend. He's a class guy, great guy. And the management team here has been nothing but good to me. So this has got nothing to do with that. It's just everything has to do with the fact that I have a show that's done pretty well on a national level and continues to do well. We picked up a group of affiliates yesterday, and I'd already kind of made my decision, but that really put the rubber stamp on it. Like, this requires all of my attention now. So that's what I'm going to do. And Robert Reese will be here, and by next week you'll have forgotten all about it. And so, and Kat will be here.
I love you, Scott.
I love you too, girl. You know that. And so I'm
not going to cry.
I do. Well, tomorrow you can cry tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day. But it's and I've said before, when Robert needs a vacation and they're looking for a fill-in host, I'm going to keep my equipment. And I will be more than willing to do that, or to sit in for if he's sick or whatever the case. If I'm able to, I will do it. But I've been blessed. I'm a blessed guy. I don't want to tell you my whole story, but when the whole thing happened, I was without a job. I wasn't working. I'd never had that happen in my life, and the reason I wasn't working was because I had my heart attacks and I was recovering, and I was let go. That's a hell of a deal too when that happens to you, when there's nothing you did other than have a heart attack. But through rehab and a change in my life, and a lot of things changed in my life over that time. Megan is our general manager. Megan reached out to me and said, hey, would you consider doing this? And I said, yeah. And she said, would you consider doing it from your home? And at that time I was still involved in therapy and other things. And I said, sure. So we made the deal, and here I am. And it's been a great run, and we've had a huge amount of success. I mean, and if the competition is probably going to have a luncheon today because I'm leaving, because they were less than. Let's just put it this way: there's some nasty stuff out there. So, and it goes with the territory in this business. But at any rate, we're going to have fun, and we're going to go out with a bang. But I wanted to stop it right away, just so you know it's not health related. It has nothing to do with my health. It's got everything to do with the fact that it's a life change for me. So, and Kat, don't call me anymore at 4:30 in the morning, okay?
Okay.
Because I'm not going to answer. You have to wait until at least 6. Somebody asked me that the other day. I said, well, man, you almost got a normal life. I said, I kind of do. I'm so used to working 2 jobs because I've been doing it for so long that it's going to take me some time to realize I don't work 2 jobs anymore. Yeah, Kat. I mean, most of us are familiar with the time in our lives when we work 2 jobs.
Oh yeah, well, I'm doing it now.
Yeah, I didn't think it would be this time in my life where I was working 2 jobs, but I was, because I had to catch up. You have to understand, I had no income really coming in for like 3 years. So this was about the best I could do. But to our clients,
I'm so happy for you.
I am too, but I'm very happy for me as well, because I think it's going to be great. And I'm still going to be here, by the way, 8 to 11 every night. Our show is on City, so and by the way, it's a great show. If I do say so myself, I'm just a cog in that machine, though. But at any rate, it's to our clients, to people who advertise with this station. God bless you, each and every one of you. If the station didn't get results for you, though, you wouldn't do it. I mean, you're not doing it out of the kindness of your heart. You're doing it because the audience of this show hears that, and they have people. There are people who spend money and have money, and they will see you before they see anyone else based on what you aligning yourselves with this station. So I certainly do appreciate that
the
as
Legion.
well.
The city's Legion.
It doesn't go. And by the way, it doesn't go unnoticed. I mean, I just want to put my arms around you guys and say thank you because again, without you, it doesn't happen. So, and I've got so many friends in Bloomington Normal, so many people I've known for so many years. But we'll still be around. I mean, it's not like I'm going away. I'm just down the road, you know. You'll pop in. I mean, Kat and I will probably be sitting down at Schooners in the beer garden before the year's over, having some wings and just talking. And I'm going to eat her wings because she can't taste them.
Yes.
So I'm just going to say, well, just give them to me then. If you can't even taste them, then what's the point,
I'll just
right?
shove them on over your way.
But no, well, so anyway, we shall see each other again. And I don't know how this turns out. I mean, I don't know how any of this stuff turns out. I never do. I mean, it's, you know, I say one thing, and I mean, I've returned to places I've left on 2 different occasions, and gone back and went, oh, you know, it's a different time or whatever for a different job. But I've done it. So I try never to burn bridges in this business because that's really stupid. But you know, again, I may have to work for him someday. You never know. Unless, of course, you know that you would rather have hot knitting needles jammed in your eyes than go back to work for them, then go ahead, by all means, burn. I use that as an example, probably a poor one, but it's an example nonetheless. All right, one quick programming note this morning, and I thought this may happen, Kat, and you just texted me and just told me it was going to happen. The mother of the missing guy here in Bloomington Normal, his mom was going to come in this morning, and you told me something I didn't know, Kat, when we came in this morning. But again, I don't have the name in front of me. Why don't I have the name in front of me? But I don't.
Carmen.
Carmen was her name, and his name is
Jelani.
Jelani, yes. I wrote that down. I can't find it, and I don't know what I did with it. Jelani, who's been missing for a month. They found his car in Peru. We knew that. And now they found a body in Peru that it is believed to be him, but there's no positive ID yet. It's clothing, right? That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, there was clothing. They haven't identified the body. There was clothing a mile away from where the body was found. That was confirmed, and Carmen confirmed that it was her son's clothing. And she's on her way there. That's why
Peru.
She's on her way to Peru.
The mom. And prayers are certainly with them today. Wow.
Go to cities929.com and check out the web story. I'll be chatting with her later in the day today to and you know, and again, this is I told her I was praying for her.
This is a very tough thing. Yeah, I mean, any of us can. That's a parent, or if we have friends in that, like you mentioned, Kat, he's your age, correct?
25. Yeah,
he's 25. Okay, he's a little older than you, even. But yeah, but this is a. I mean, these stories are
speech pathology. He didn't have a roommate, didn't have a girlfriend that she knew of. But she told me over the phone, she goes, God is getting me through this.
Yeah. That's always a pretty good place to turn. Yeah, I mean, my heart just breaks for these people. It really does. So sad. You know, because that's the big story now. We got that big story, too, of this
Gabby
tragic.
Petito.
Yeah, it's just tragic. All right, we will take a break. Back on the other side, News and Talk. Thursday morning, beautiful day on Cities 92.9. We go, News and Talk, Bloomington Normal, that's us. We're Cities 92.9. Hi there, I'm Scott Robbins. Right over there is Kat Peterson.
Yes. Check your speed.
Check your, yeah, I know this song. I mean, you can't help it, right? I mean, there's just some songs that come on, you're just like, holy crap, I'm going 90. What happened? And you don't even notice it. And I think 9 out of 10 state troopers will take that as an excuse. Oh, you're listening to Tom Petty's Running Down a Dream? Okay, you're fine. Just slow down. Okay, thank you, officer. Yeah. You know, I've talked to people before that get warnings, that have gotten like warnings. They get stopped and the guy gave me a warning. I never get warnings. I get the ticket. I don't know what that is. Why is that? I don't know.
I know. I've always gotten a ticket.
I've gotten a ticket too. I mean, I haven't had one now. You know, the weird thing is I got into that danger zone where I got 2 of them like within a month. And I'm like, crap, I can't get another one. I'm going to lose my license, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so I was old man driving after that. You know, now it's been like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I guess, since I had one. But man, you know, there's still something about that that's scary, isn't it? Where your heart just starts beating hard. And you got the cop behind you. You know it's you.
Like,
Yeah, gosh dang
Even
it.
when I see them, like just sitting there, like with their speedometers, and I'm like going the speed limit or like even under, and then I'll like look at my speedometer, but still I'm like.
I know. It's that whole hyperventilating type feeling you get that comes over you. And it's not anything a cop's ever done to me. I mean, everybody's above and done exactly what they're supposed to do. Have you ever gotten out of one though? Have you ever got them like, okay, let's just slow down?
Yeah, I did get out of one. Mm-hmm.
That's because you're a pretty girl.
I was working, and I literally, I don't know, it was just a weird night. I was working, and then I had this guy pour beer on me. He was just drunk, and he just like threw beer at me. I was like, okay.
He threw beer at you?
Yeah. He was
Holy
drunk.
cow.
It was okay.
All right. Yeah,
It comes with a bit. I've had kids throw milk at me. It's insane. When you're serving, it's just anything can happen at any time, and I've accepted this.
Yeah.
But I had beer like all over me, and I rolled down the window.
You smell like a brewery. Yeah.
Yeah. And he goes, "You haven't been drinking?" And I go, "No." I was like, and then I started bawling. I was like, I was at work, and I was like, and he goes, calm down, and then this just goes to show you the cops. I've always had wonderful encounters with cops. I always a wonderful encounter with cops. And he just goes, relax, and he goes, you need to take a day off, and he goes, if you don't take the day off tomorrow, I'm going to give you a ticket. And I was like, okay, and he was like, and then he like smiled and laughed, and I was like, oh, well, thanks. And he was like, here's a warning, but under the stipulation that you call off tomorrow.
Well, let me ask you this. Did you?
Yeah, actually, I don't think I worked the next day.
Yeah,
I think it was like a day that I already had off. But
see, those are cool.
He goes, I'll give you the warning.
Right, and everybody's got their story, right? Everybody's got a different story. It just doesn't matter. I take that back. I got out of one because the guy liked the radio show. And which was
did he recognize your voice?
No, recognized my name on the driver's license.
Oh.
When I gave him the license, he's like, "Are you the?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's me," because I use my real name. And he was like, "Oh, wow, okay. Love your show. Hey, man, can you slow down though?" Yes, I can. Thank you, officer. And now that can work against you too. It depends, right? I mean, if they hate the show, then you're probably going to get 3 tickets, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it can go either way. But
I know I get nervous with like bumper stickers and things like that. I'm scared people are going to keep my car.
I know exactly. That's why I don't do the bumper sticker thing, only because I don't need that in my life, right? Because somebody will. They'll be at the parking lot somewhere and somebody will do it because they don't like what it says. But I like what yours says, Kat.
Yeah, my bumper stickers.
Yeah, I think you sent me a picture of it once. Yeah, so there you go. All right, let's see what else is going on. We got a lot to cover yet this morning. We scratched the surface on a million things I wanted to get to. We got a ton of audio to get to. We'll do that. That's all coming up. It's a beautiful day, though. Like Kat said, though, Kat had the heater on this morning on her way into work.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
I got blankets on.
I know. I see that.
My head is poking out.
It's unbelievable. I can hardly see you. Yeah. All right. We're back in a minute. News and Talk, Bloomington Normal. We're Cities 92.9. All righty. Here we go. News and Talk, Bloomington Normal. That's us. We're Cities 92.9. Hi there. I'm Scott Robbins. Right over there is Kat Peterson. A brisk morning you're waking up to. Feels like fall, doesn't it? Yeah. What's the high today, Kat?
The high today.
What's the high today going to be? Let's check the radar.
The radar.
Yeah. I don't know. You got it on your end because I don't have it. That's why I'm asking you. I just throw it out there. This is unrehearsed. I just go, hey, Kat, what's the temperature? And then I expect her just to come up with it. Yeah. What's the high going to be today?
70.
So that's it, 70. And then we warm up for the weekend, right, though?
Oh, yeah. We'll warm up. It'll get up to almost 80 on Friday tomorrow. Okay. And then it's going to be 86 on Monday.
Okay. So, a little warmer.
High 70s. Actually, 72 on Saturday. It dips a little bit.
So, the high of only 72 on Saturday? All right, then. Okay. Well, see, that's not bad. All right, we can live with that. All right, cool.
I like 80 degrees. Like, if it's 80, then it's perfect.
No, 72 is perfect. We learned that yesterday on this show when we went to the science corner. Yes.
No.
Yeah. All right. District 87. You got some audio here that you want to play, and this is your audio. When you present audio to me, you're always like, listen to it and see what you think. And I thought it was pretty compelling audio. This is a D87. This is a board meeting. Because you got to set this up for me a little bit.
Yep. So District 87 had a school board meeting last night, and a lot of parents spoke out about the violence that has been happening in schools. I mean, just recently, The Blaze, they published an article, and it was an Ohio school that just had lines of cop cars, enforcements called. And then Peoria, we saw Peoria High School, they had all enforcements called, and just brawls, riots happening in these schools. So a lot of parents went and they spoke at the school board meeting, and one parent, her name is Katie Glenn. She is actually no longer a District 87 parent because she pulled her kid out of school because it got that bad. And she was describing for our cities just the malicious bullying that took place. Her son Mason, there was just multiple instances, and currently she has a lawsuit in the works, and she's suing for.
Wow.
Yeah, she's suing for damages and for emotional damages that could have potentially led to something that, and she said she's had suicide in her family and she's scared. I mean, her son is only 8 years old and he was facing a lot. So there's a couple clips I'll play. Is the Katie's son. So she opted out of the sex education bill. And she said, I don't want my son learning anything about masturbation. I don't
He's
want
8
him
years
learning.
old?
He's
Is
8
that
years
right?
old. Yes.
He's 8 years old. Okay, we need to preface that. He's 8.
8.
Okay, here we go. All
He's
right.
8 years old.
She doesn't want her 8-year-old learning about masturbation.
And she opted out because you can do that. You can opt out for, it's called like health, and
of course it is. Yeah,
it's like a health class.
Yeah.
And it's the alternative to sex education for 8 years.
They just rename stuff. I mean, come on, man.
She was telling me that
they just gussy it up and put another name on it, and there it is. It's not critical race theory. We're not teaching that by name anyway. We're going to teach the same things, but we're going to call it something different so you don't really know what it is. These guys. All right, go ahead. Now you told me that, it really irritates me, but anyway, here we go.
Yeah. So this is Katie, and she's talking about
in front of the school board, correct? Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to her son when she chose to opt out for him, the sex education. This is what the staff at District 87 did.
Okay.
Months came by, and it's March now. My son was sent home time after time for using the restroom more often than others due to medical purposes. I had to contact his doctor and was forced to have her send a note to honor and respect these needs, since I, his parent, does not have a say-so or equal enough value in my son's care and what's best of his interest of health. The next few months, 3 more events took place. The next event was the sexual education that was taught to 8 to 9-year-olds about puberty and sexual reproduction and masturbation. I, of course, will not allow anyone to groom my child by this pedophilia curriculum. I opt out of this instruction and opt in for the hygiene and nutrition. The children who were a part of this grooming pedo instruction were allowed to attend a pizza party. Those who were not, which was my son, didn't get pizza. How symbolic.
Wow.
They threw a pizza party, and I have not checked back with District 87 to confirm Katie's, but I mean, you have to ask yourself, and she got very emotional when she was speaking, and I believe Katie Glenn, she is a parent and a community member, and I don't see any reason for her to lie. But I haven't checked back with District 87 to check her claims, but she called out on all of the teachers. There were teachers. Delgado is the principal, and she was calling him out. But you touched on critical race theory. Katie's son was also exposed to a CNN report that discussed the verdict regarding George Floyd.
Oh, geez.
8-year-old.
Okay.
8-year-old.
All right. Okay.
And this, I actually can kind of connect to another parent who told me the same thing had happened in their classroom.
Right.
They had said CNN was playing. So
Of course it was.
I've gotten two parents to say that it's not just Katie in this instance. Okay, so here's Katie on the Floyd verdict.
This is the last month in the last incident of the 4th grade class in Miss Mashing. They were shown the news report and verdict of George Floyd, and the news stated that all white people are racist. My son is Caucasian and the minority at the school. There were maybe 4 other Caucasian children in that class. My son said after the CNN 10 News stated this evil, hateful lie that all of the classmates looked around at each other. The next day, he lost all of his new friends as a new student and only the Caucasian children of 4 classmates played together.
I know. This is really tough audio.
It is, and I have 2 granddaughters that are both in public school, and I don't know what they teach. I think my daughter is involved enough that I don't know if she knows everything that's going on in there, but you got to pull this curtain back. I mean, I know it pisses these administrators off that I bring that up, but I don't really care what you think. I'm past that. Okay.
My fear, Scott, is that it's too far gone. I mean, that's my fear.
And it may very well be. It may very well be. But here's the thing: you can't affect change by sitting on your hands. It doesn't work that way. Mm-hmm. You can't. These people have no stop signs. They have an agenda, and they're fulfilling their agenda. They're going to tell you they don't. They're going to tell you that people that think that way are crazy. There's nothing wrong with but there is. And you feel it in your heart, you feel it in your gut, and you know that what you're feeling and those instincts you have are true. Now, here's the thing. Here's the problem. The problem is Katie had the wherewithal to get her kid out. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't have the financial resources available to do that. Mm-hmm. They're stuck. Geography dictates where their kids go to school, and they don't have a choice in the matter. I mean, they'd like to have a choice, but they don't. So they get the same old tired nonsense that comes out of there that you don't know about that's being taught to your kids. An 8-year-old doesn't need to learn about masturbation in school. Okay, he doesn't.
He doesn't need to be pitted against his friends.
Try to justify that and say yes, they just give me your reasoning behind that. Why is that taught to an 8-year-old? And as a parent, why would I allow that? Well, I don't. I opt out. Well, if I opt out, then you get ostracized, then you get put on opt-out island.
And a poor kid doesn't get pizza.
But that's what they do. That's exactly what they do. Look this is how they do these things. They, meaning the kooks, the far left nuts that are currently running things. If you don't get the vaccine, you don't get to participate. If you don't get the vaccine, you don't get to go to the pizza party. You'll get the vaccine. You'll do as you're told.
Well, Katie touched on that. She talked about
but when you look at the grand picture of things, as adults, we're going through that. I'm using the pizza party as an example of can't go to the movies, can't go to sporting events, you can't do anything, right? They're going to make it impossible for you to sit at the cool kids table if you don't get the vaccine. And if you take that down and break it down into elementary and 8-year-olds, you say to yourself, this is our pizza party that you're not invited to, unless, of course, you check off this box. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Because this is absolutely the truth. You are being ostracized. You are going to be put on an island for exercising your right to determine whether or not you want something in your body or not. They will take you out.
And it's conditioning these kids because when they get older, guess what? Guess who's going to be complacent?
You will be obedient. You will obey. We know better than you do. We know. That's what they do. That's what they do. And again, for the record, and I feel like I have to say this all the time, I'm double vaxxed. I'm double vaxxed because I chose to be double vaxxed. That's it. I chose to. I'm not anti-vax, so don't put that on me. Don't put an anti-education. He just hates. No, that's not true. None of that's true. But stop trying to put me on that island because I'm not going to let you. And that's where it is. It's happening everywhere, man. You want to work for this company? Get vaccinated. You want to work for this company? In your high school years, you said this on Facebook, so therefore you're excluded. I mean, guys, this is happening everywhere. It starts there, and it ends where, as an adult, you're dealing with it. Isn't that what cancel culture is? It's making sure that you're ostracized. And they do this all the time. There's no redemption in that world. There isn't any. You can't be redeemed for anything. They want to separate you. They want to separate races. They want to separate religions. They want you separate. Because if you're separate, they can control you. I mean, and this sounds crazy. I hear myself sometimes. I go, are you nuts? But you see examples of it everywhere. Everywhere. They hate religion. They hate organized religion. That's even worse. They hate free thinkers. They hate people who don't comply. They want to believe they know better than you do how to run your life and conduct it. They can make your life better. And of course they don't. Because everything they touch turns into a pile of rubble. It just does.
There's one more clip here.
Okay. Let's play it.
Okay. This is Katie, and it touches on the vaccine and how
the kid was very good.
Ostracized there. So.
Okay, all right, here we go.
My son ran to the restroom when Mr. Jones started this topic in class. He was uncomfortable and he was scared. Mr. Jones came after my son in the bathroom and made Mason come back to class to state his opinion on a COVID vaccine. Mr. Jones also told the class that he is vaccinated, his children are vaccinated, and all of his animals are vaccinated, and that children should have vaccines, all people should have vaccines. He then asked Mason his opinion, and Mason said that they aren't safe and we don't believe in them. The next day, my son came to school. After I picked him up from school, he was inconsolable. His classmates called him retarded. They called his mom retarded. They called him fat. They told him he should die, and so should his mom. And
what right do you have, teacher, to lecture about vaccination? Shut up, you bully. You don't have that right. That doesn't give you that right. You don't have the right to get up there and lecture people on how they should conduct themselves and their health. Their parents do that. You don't do that.
How hypocritical. You get to, okay, yeah, you believe in the vaccination. Your children, your animals, they're all vaccinated. Well, guess who gets that choice? You.
You do. And that's got nothing to do with the education of these. Just knock it off. Golly. All right, we'll take a break. Back in... Yep. Here we go. News and Talk, Bloomington Normal. That's us. We are Cities 92.9. Hi there, I'm Scott Robbins. Right over there is Kat Peterson. Yes, indeed. What a nice day. Wow. Sunshine. Very
beautiful
comfortable.
Day.
You know, I feel like, what would you say? The high today was going to be 68?
70.
70, okay.
70. Just a couple clarifying things for the last story we did, if you're still around.
Well, yeah,
but we did a story about...
Let's clear it up, all right?
This parent, and she was parent of District 87.
87, right.
And her boy is still in school, so he's not pulled out, like he doesn't go to private school or anything like that. She can't afford to pull him out.
Okay.
And they can't do homeschooling. He's 10 now, so all of that took place while he was 8. So it's just been like 2 years worth of... so now he's 10, and he's going to Washington. And the board didn't let her speak, so that audio was fully for cities. Under the impression they knew her probably after a couple years of this ongoing events that have tortured her son.
Right.
So they didn't let her speak at the District 87 board meeting. That was a statement she had, prepared and read to cities solely.
Okay.
So, just to clarify.
That's all right. Okay, there you go. Okay, so a couple of things there that, all right, we got it cleared up now. There you go. Okay, clarification made, and onward and upward. Things we waste money on. Yes, go ahead. And?
They cut her mic, because I wasn't at I just got the audio sent to me, but they cut her mic at District 87.
Well.
So she was up at the mic. They didn't let her speak, so they cut it.
Yeah. What, is Biden's people running the microphones now? They just cut them off. Like, cut them off. Don't talk. Stop talking.
Oh, I can't believe that. Just cut the mic off. What?
Wow. Okay. All right. Very good. All right. Thanks for that. Someone recently asked the internet people what they considered a huge waste of money. And everything was fair game. whether it was a necessary purchase or something a little more frivolous, but the top 10 are number 1 in particular. We'll get to that coming up, all right? We'll get to it later because we don't have time to flush it out right now, but we'll get to it later. Think about that, though. Let that kick around. What have you wasted money on? You went, gosh dang, shouldn't have done that.
Public school system. Oof.
Yeah, well, I don't have a say-so there. They just take it right out of my check. All right. Fox News, top of the hour. Tom will get you caught up locally. We're back on the other side. It is a Thursday morning already on the News and Talk of Bloomington Normal. That's us. We're